What's going on, guys? It's Greg from East Coast Eyes, and today we have another episode of Theory Thursday. So one of the most requested episodes ever was a theory on Faceoff Pockets. I did that one a long time ago, and people are still requesting another one since I don't think that one was that great. So today we're going to cover the theory of stringing Faceoff Pockets. This is a question that many people have, and one that I'd love to give you guys my insight on. So if you guys have any ideas for Theory Thursdays, make sure you leave them down in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you like this topic, and here we go. So the face-off position is a very interesting one in lacrosse. So you run into lots of different guys that play the face-off position a lot, that face off and also play a lot of offense and defense, and then you run into a lot of what you call FOGOs, which is an acronym for face off, get off. And so that's a guy that is really just a specialty player, goes on, takes the face off, wins, loses, and comes straight off the field for an offensive or defensive player. So you're going to want a different pocket depending on which of those two people you are. So if you're the FOGO, you want a pocket that is pretty much just built to optimize facing off. And if you're the two-way player, the three-way player, you face off offense and defense, you're going to want a pocket that you can face off with, but also still throw the ball around and take really nice shots with. So the most important thing when you are facing off about a pocket is you want one that once you clamp the ball with the pocket pushed in, and if you pull it out, when you toss it out, or you go to scoop up a ground ball, you want a pocket that is going to fall back in easily so the ball doesn't have a tough time in, because when you scoop with a pocket like this, the ball has to push the mesh back in so you can get the ball nice and secured in your pocket and get away with the ground ball and clear the ball out. So the most important aspect of this is three things actually. What type of mesh you're using, what type of sidewall knot you're using, and your channel and your pocket placement. So type of mesh, you're going to want a mesh that is pretty soft. So here's where the difference comes in. If you're a FOGO, I would go with the softest mesh you can find because you're really just going to need to face off with it. If you are a multi-purpose player, I would go with something like our 20mm East Coast mesh, which we pretty much specifically make for face-off guys so that it's nice and soft and pops back in easily, but still has some structure and weatherproofing for when you're playing offense or defense, shooting and throwing. So you're going to want a soft mesh so it pops back and forth easily, toss it out, lands in the pocket, pops it right back out. The next thing is sidewall knots. So what I like to use is SIs. I find that SIs do not grab the ball because some of the mesh lays on the outside of the string. So when you have an SI, the mesh is going to lay on the outside of the string. It's going to easily pop back, and there's not going to be a lot of bunching that's going to keep the pocket really hard and rigid in one area. So you're also going to want to make the pocket sort of baggy, because if you bunch a triple up all in one area, it's going to get really stiff in that area where the triple up is, and it's not going to move back and forth quite as easily. So this is again where you strike the balance between field play and face off. Some field players may not love a really baggy pocket for shooting, but it is really good for facing off, so you have to kind of strike that balance there. Again, with pocket placement, you're going to want a baggy pocket, and you definitely don't want a channel that's crazy tight, because if you do have a channel that's crazy tight, the ball's going to get stuck right there and you won't be able to flip it out the back, which is even more important now with the new face-off rules in the NCAA, where you cannot keep it in the back. It has to come out very easily. So you don't want a very tight channel, because it's going to grip the ball right in here and you won't be able to toss it out the back. For shooting strings, I always recommend for face-off guys just simple 3 straights, NCAA legal shooter setup. Everyone's gonna have to play by it eventually. It's the easiest way to go. It's not gonna get in the way. If you have U's down here, it's gonna get in the way of gripping the ball and your pocket falling back in easily. With straights, you never have to worry about that, and it's good to switch if you're not an NCAA player yet now, so you get used to it, and it's a great setup for face-off players. The one tip I have on shooting strings is make sure if you're looking at the stick from the back that the shooting strings are tied off on your right, and the reason is when you go down for a ground ball, or when you go down to face off, your stick's gonna be sitting like this on the ground. You don't want your shooting strings tied off here, because they may stick out and touch the ball, and the ref may move you backward because you can't have any part of your stick touching the ball. So by having them up here, you eliminate the possibility of them touching the ball and the ref moving your stick backwards. So those are the basic things you need to know about stringing a face-off pocket, and with that, I think you should be able to get a good one that works pretty well. Another note is that, not string related, but you can no longer have tape that comes from the shaft onto the head of the stick as a face-off player, so refs will be checking for that. As far as head recommendations, I know Greg Renlian of the Faceoff Academy just put out a list of the top 5 heads that Faceoff Academy athletes use, but I know one of the top ones, being the Nike CEO, is pretty much the preferred head by most NCAA Faceoff guys. Some use the clutch, some use the superpower. It's good to ask around your buddies and other people you know what lasts the longest and what's going to stay the most durable and also give you the best flex point. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.